I'm writing a book, have been writing this one for over 20 years. And it's my dad's project. He wasn't able to finish it. I interviewed him for 5 years before he died. And it's about this incredible air battle, worst in Air Force history for a single day's battle for one group from a base. There were some really bad ones. This one was the biggest for a single group, and he obviously survived. And but he came from a background of being this kid with an inferiority complex, and surprised himself into getting into the being a cadet officer, a pilot, and eventually showed that he really had what it took, and surprised himself. And it's the way he developed as a person. And then this horrible battle that they were in, and that only a few planes made it back, and then how he survived that, and then moved onward, and then later in life, none of these guys that survived could make sense of it, and he pulled them all together and organized them, and they found healing through this organization that he headed up. This is a great book, and I'm obsessed with it, obviously, so his obsession passed on to me, and it's how that has affected me. But the book has to get done. It has to get done, and I'm getting older while I still can do it. So I am committing to you right here, right now, 1 hour a day at least. It's been 2 hours today. It was 45 minutes yesterday. It was an hour on Saturday. So I kind of sort of started on Saturday. Today's Monday. This is May 12th, and it's the day after Mother's Day. And this is happening. I think this is a big book. It might actually be 3 books. But I'm going to share with you my journey, and I have a little story to start off with. Warren Crowther and he were training to be pilots. They were just learning to fly B-24s, and they were paired together, and with an instructor at first, and then the two of them were flying pilot, co-pilot on a B-24, and they were based at Kirtland Air Force Base, and would fly cross country, and they would have routes that they had to go, and they did an overnight, and they even got to stop at Kansas City, where Warren Crowther's mother lived. My dad was a Christian Scientist, and Warren was one, and so they met his mother, and his mother cried when they left. And he said, "Oh, Mother," he was embarrassed, Warren was. And Warren decided to stay and become an instructor. He was that good. And Dad went on to get a crew and go over to England. And Dad stayed in touch with everyone. You know, they all wrote letters. Their long distance from overseas didn't happen. And so he wrote wonderful letters. And I'm sure it was in the mail. He must have found out that Warren was in a plane crash during training someone and died. And I was going to cut that whole thing out, and I think it's really important to be in there. So